Okay, so homework reviews. I don't know which one of us went first last week, but you go ahead. Tell me what you thought of Crazy Stupid Love.
All right, Mom, I'm gonna do my review of Crazy Stupid Love right now. Okay. All right. So, we watched Crazy Stupid Love, as in we, my mother and I. And thank you, by the way, for making us watch that with my mom. I,
We were
You're
on
welcome.
different couches. We never made eye contact.
we never made eye contact, separate couches. You are correct. There was my mom halfway, or I'd say 2/3 of the movie, leans over. He goes, "I forgot how much sex was in this movie." And I was like, "Well,
How sad it was.
yeah, yeah." So it was a good movie on a level. I mean, it was I'd say a C plus, to be honest with you.
So, did you find it funny?
Did I find it funny? Yes, there was
Yes.
some enjoyable
Okay.
moments. I'm not a huge Steve Carell fan.
Did
But there
you see
there
the-
were Steve Carell moments that I was like, eh, and there were Steve Carell moments that I was like, ah. So it was actually a better than average Steve Carell movie in my opinion.
Did you see the fact that Emma Stone was his daughter coming?
No, I did not. I even leaned over. I was like,
Good.
what the fuck is this? I love that twist. So it was an actual good twist.
Yes. They didn't
And
lead into it or give any
nothing.
hints. It was just like, hey, here it is.
Nothing. Full 9 on that.
Loved it. Loved it.
It felt long. I don't know how long that movie was, but I didn't hate it and it felt long. It just felt
Okay.
long. There were like 3 times during that movie I thought it was the end, and it wasn't the end. It just continued. I even said that to mom afterward. I was just like, this movie is long, but it was enjoyable, and and the first thing I said was the first point I wanted to make, and I failed already on that. The first point I wanted to make was this movie starts off running. It doesn't dick around. It's just immediately like, oh, here's the opening, and let's get a divorce. And it was like he jumps out of the moving car, and the kid gets caught masturbating in bed by the babysitter. I mean, it's a full let's fucking run it up to 9. That's probably why it felt so long, because most movies have that build up to it, and then you get to that level, and they hold that level to the end. This
Yeah.
movie was just like, let's start it in 4th gear. I mean, let's.
Yeah, but you were talking about when we were talking about going to see other movies. You're like, oh, I don't need to see the first half of this movie. I'll just come in
I
the
agree.
middle and
I
watch
agree.
the rest of the way.
That's why I didn't docket points for that. It just felt
Okay.
long.
Okay. Good.
The comedy in it was pretty good. Ryan Gosling, is that his name? Did I get that right?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't. Is this
You
one of
know
his
him.
early movies, by the way? One of his
No.
about halfway through career? Because I mean, I don't know. I don't follow him.
I think this came out in 2000. I'd have to double check.
No
I don't
worries.
have it pulled up.
I
But
thought he did really well for that character, and you can actually feel the transition because he wasn't trying to. But again, when he's in the bed with Emma Stone and they're just talking, he's like, "I'm
the
incredible."
PG-13 moment.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm incredibly unhappy, and nothing can make a difference in that." Now, and I know what that means. So that was actually a good kind of turning point, like a coin flip or a light switch, where it all started to actually change. I really like that. Emma Stone's character, I thought was great. With her character,
I love Emma Stone in
did.
everything.
And the first time you see her like getting ready for the bar exam, and that guy's talking and giving her a toast, I didn't even know they were in a relationship, which is exactly what that ended up being.
Yeah.
That kind of a relationship where you don't even know if you were to look. So I thought her face and actions and the way she portrayed what she was doing and saying and
She's
feeling,
a great actress.
it did real well. So she surprised me on that. I thought the mom did real well as well. I've seen her be in a few different. I've seen her in a few other movies as well, playing actually a mom,
Yeah.
if I recall. The teacher was fucking crazy. The one he had sex with.
Isn't that Peter
Yeah.
Parker's aunt?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that is. And
It
she
is.
was fucking crazy. But
Hilarious.
I have in the past been on dating sites where teachers are fucking crazy. So don't all you guys out there, if anybody watches this, watch it. Teachers can be crazy. So anyway,
By the way, there are also non-crazy teachers, and I'm gonna bring up our stepsister Brooke again at this moment
I
because
know.
she points out every time she's like, "You talked about me on your video again." I was like, "I did," and I'm putting you in the non-crazy teacher column.
yeah, she's defending you.
Yes.
Anyways, I thought it was pretty good. It was a little awkward with the teenage kid or the
Yes,
13 year
the
old,
girl,
yeah,
the
with the
girl that
babysitter.
had a crush on. Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about one of the ending closing is basically a 17-year-old girl giving actual photos of nudes to a 13-year-old boy, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that being like the bow on the present for the end of this relationship that they
Yeah.
have going on.
Yeah.
But she's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, he's like, I'm gonna
It
grow up
doesn't
and look like
tie
my dad. Ugh.
it
Eh.
doesn't tie it up in a bow. That's the thing. It's just
Yeah.
supposed to be fucked up. Like it's
Yeah.
not supposed to be like
Well,
perfect.
that also dated the movie like a motherfucker, actually having pictures in an envelope and her putting,
Oh.
yeah. Um, I think all the characters did really well. Kevin Bacon
Oh yeah.
didn't know he was going to be in this at all. I thought he did pretty good at his character as well because he was kind of like that guy that's like, I'm interested, but I mean, I have nothing else going for me in life, so I want to give a little bit of effort towards something that's easy. And
Yeah.
it wasn't really easy, obviously. It got a
No.
little bit of a problematic. Oh man, it was an emotional roller coaster, but it wasn't where it wasn't. It was like a Dollywood emotional roller coaster. It wasn't like a Six Flags emotional roller coaster. It had its ups and
Okay.
downs. The only time that corkscrew hit was when everybody came across each other when he built the little putt-putt thing. Because again, that's another moment I'm like, oh, this movie's gonna end. Nope. So
Yep.
it was pretty good, and that's why I gave it a C plus. Rom coms usually get
Okay.
in the C range, and you know I'm an incredibly tough grader when it comes to this
You
kind of stuff.
are.
So C
I
plus
think
is a
you're a little
compliment.
too. I mean, I'm a little bit easier going. And
That's why
you're
you do
like,
1 to 10. I'm a hard
yeah,
ass. I'm a hard
yeah,
ass. That's
you
my
are.
children.
You are. It's not just 1 to 10. I even do like the 0.5s in
Yeah,
there
yeah.
too.
No, if you had to watch something not with your mom but with a girlfriend or something,
No, with your
this
mom.
might be a decent movie. But I wouldn't recommend watching it with your mom because there was some definite moments there, right, Mom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She said it all sad. You could hear the sadness in her voice.
Yeah.
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 In real life is better.
She says Dan in real life is better, which is a personal recommendation
Oh
from
yeah,
Mom.
yeah.
So I might have to put that on my list. I don't know if I've seen
That
that or
also
not.
has Steve Carell in it, I believe.
There's another Steve Carell. Ugh.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I'm not a huge fan of Steve Carell. Not a huge fan. I thought he did decent in this one, but I also could have seen that exact character being played by multiple other people. I think this came out probably when The Office was popular, right?
It might, yeah, beginning of The Office.
Cook is in Dan in real life.
Dane Cook is?
Yeah.
All right, that'll help it out. I'd rather
There you
watch
go.
Dane Cook than Steve Carell. And internet, go ahead and fucking hate me. I don't care. All right, so let's switch gears then. That's my review, and I gave it a C
Okay.
plus. What about you?
Okay, so Hedwig and the Angry Inch, right? That was the name.
Yeah, it was.
I keep messing that up. I can't believe you watched this movie. This is not your kind of movie. This is not anything I would ever pick in the top 100, top 500 movies
Right, for
of
me?
Yes. Like you watch this?
I have
Like-
people. I take other people's recommendations into consideration, and I go into it with an open mind. And the story
Yes.
of love song was actually that's still something that's amazing in my life. But yeah,
I will. The
a
music
little
was great. I very much enjoyed the
Damn
music.
right.
I was trying to take like randomly like scribble things down as I'm watching them, like scribbling down over here so I don't forget stuff.
you like the
But
humor.
I did. What?
The humor it was real raunchy humor.
Oh yeah. But like I very much enjoyed the music. The music was great. Some of it got a little like too like jumping around and rolling around and like too rock and roll, I guess. But
Okay.
this takes place in like the 80s, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So kind of what I have, like you open up with the musical number and they're at like a restaurant or something, and you get to see more of her and like all of her wigs. Oh my God, there was like a room just of like hundreds of wigs. I'm
Right.
like, Jesus, that's a lot of wigs. Struggling band trying to make it and everything, and then you learn more about this Tommy guy that apparently she basically created and helped bring up, and then he's like not acknowledging her at all, and you're like, okay, give me more about that. So I did. There was a couple scenes where they would have the drawings pop up as they're singing, and I'm like, this is just really, really out there. Like, this is what am I watching? Like, I'm not expecting this. I'm like expecting
Good.
like a rock band thing, and then there have all these like kid drawings that pop up and to tell more of the backstory and everything.
Right.
It was a little out there. Um, and then I did like the comment. Was it Bishop in a turtleneck? Little that, and then the little like it was funny. I was like, oh, okay, that's a way to make sure that this movie is, because it's not rated R, it's PG-13, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh, that's how you get the PG-13 rating. Um, but and then in Berlin meets a guy in the military and ends up getting surgery um, to. Oh, my screen went black. I think my thing goes like sleepy sometimes, like me.
Like
Um,
sleepy. Wow, you're
yeah,
such a
shut up.
tech. It goes
I
night
am
night.
re-
It gets tired.
I'm really tired. It's 11:30 here and I'm
Well,
tired. I
you're
don't
you're
stay up
you're the
this
one
late.
holding us up. I'm sorry.
Shush. Okay. Gets the sugar daddy, ends up, and then comes over to America, ends up leaving her for a young guy. And then let's see. The comment that she makes when they're in the dry cleaning place, and she goes, "You don't put a bra in the dryer. Like, what are you doing?" Somebody who worked at Victoria's Secret for 5 years, you don't put bras in the dryer. Like, just don't do it. So,
Right.
just for you and future reference, girlfriends, wives, don't put a bra in the dryer.
I'm
Just don't
pretty
do
I'm
it.
pretty sure they should know that. You're probably speaking to the men that don't.
Yeah, yeah. You and every guy there, don't put the bra in the
It's
dryer. You
true.
can put it in the washer. That's fine. So I was curious, and you might know the answer to this. So her band that she was with, and she was performing with, and touring around, and trying to stay close to Tommy, so she could try to prove the fact that like this was her stuff as well. The band that she was with, there was the other singer, which was also a transgender person, but flipped. It was a female turning into a male. Um, what was the thing about her passport or his passport? Like, like I'm really confused on that.
I can't answer that. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. I just
It
remember kind of the pops during it.
it
So that's why I
seemed
wanted to
like,
hear your review.
yeah, because at the end, he kind of Hedwig kind of lets him go, and I think it's because like at one point he'd been Hedwig had been screwed over by so many people, and that started like ended up trying to take advantage of people, like people took advantage of her, and she realized it, and then at the end of the movie let that relationship go and let that person free. So I like that ending. The Tommy thing with he just keeps denying and denying, and like they get together, and the car accident, uh and then like he's like, they're like, oh, what do you know about this? And he's like, I've never seen that person before in my life, didn't know that she wasn't a she, blah blah blah. And it's like, you're still
Thanos.
denying it. It's
Thanos, I don't even know who
I
you
don't even
are.
know who you are. Yeah. I was like, you're still denying it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But it looked like they came to a mutual goodbye and agreement at the end, just via the music. And it looks like she was finally comfortable in her own skin. She didn't need all the makeup. She didn't need all the wigs. She didn't need all the over the top clothes. And she just performed that last song on stage, basically just in shorts and like nothing else. Like, it was just real and raw and emotional. And it was like a good like 2 to 3 minutes where everybody's just like staring, like, where's your wig? Where's your makeup? Where's everything? And it's just like raw and emotional and everything. Um, I like the whole thing about finding your other half and what your other half is. Is my other half just like me? Is my other
Mm-hmm.
half different from me? What is my other half like? So I really like that journey. Overall, the movie's too much for me. Like, I
I was
can't
gonna say
relate
it's
to
all
it.
over the place. It's all
It
over
is.
the place.
It's everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and I am like, I understand why this impacts a lot of people, and I like, because the journey in it is a very, very emotional journey and a very personal journey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't relate to it personally, but I understand it. On my grading scale from 1 to 10, me personally, I would probably give it like a a 6 because I understand the importance of it.
Mm-hmm.
If it didn't have that good message, I would probably drop it even lower to like a
Right.
5.
Right.
But I understand the messaging, I respect the messaging, and I
Question:
like
do
the
you think
messaging.
it's more of a relevant movie nowadays than any other time before?
When did this come? This came out early 2000s, right?
I believe so. So
Yeah,
say,
it was
is
2001.
was it ahead of its time?
Yeah, I think you're right there. Because this is 2001 when this movie came out, and people are probably looking at this like this is the worst thing ever. But it was, I think, ahead of its time. I think you're
Okay.
right there.
Okay, good. So it's something that more so you would recommend nowadays to people to be able to check out than prior
Yeah,
when it came out.
it is going to be more artsy.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you like your Sundance movies, your very deep movies that are kind of out there, you'll enjoy it.
All right then. Awesome. Okay. So you have a 6, and I had a C plus. So we're both. I think we're both in the yellow section this week on
Mhm.
that kind of that situation.